Hi there. Welcome to a general introduction to Spreadsheet. We will be looking at the Excel spreadsheet program. When you get into your laptop, we will go down here to your Windows icon, and you should be able to find Spreadsheet already preloaded in your quick icons. But if you need to, you can go down to E and locate it here. And we're just going to open this up. We're going to double click on that. And this will bring us up to the main opening to what you want to do with Excel. So we're going to play around with some of the features. And at any time in this video, if you need to pause the video in order to do the activity or the task, you can do so. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and open up a blank workbook. And we should get a general blank spreadsheet. It'll say book 1 up here. And I want to go over some of the features of Spreadsheet before we actually dive into the activities. To begin with, we will be looking at items like the cell, and every time you move your mouse around and click on a cell, you'll notice that the selected cell will have a frame around it. To identify the cell location, we start with the column and then find where it intersects with the row. And we call this cell address F10. You can also find the cell address stated here. So if you keep your eye on this section, you can click and notice that it changes based on where you click your mouse. When you look at the top of your screen, you'll see some letters going across the top, and I know this is a review for some of us. These are called the column identifiers because as you click on a letter, it will highlight that column. Equally, over here on the left-hand side, you'll see rows that do the same thing. If you click on a row, it will highlight that row. And basically, that is what you will use to find locations in your spreadsheet. Now, as you click on a cell and you type some information, let's just type something here. You'll notice that the information in that cell appears up here in the text field. And you can type as much as you want. And if it appears that it overlaps into another cell, no worries, it does not. You'll notice that that cell, when you click out of it, and let's say I go into this cell, nothing's in there. It is all located in this specific cell. Now, if you have a situation like this, you do have the option to widen cells, widen columns as well as rows. You'll just place your mouse in the gray area between the divider lines. You can also do that with your rows if you would like to enlarge that cell. And we'll get into some of the formatting here in a minute, but in the event that you do have, let's say, a title that goes over different different views of the cells, then you can widen those two options or those two features. You can also locate down here at the bottom different tabs. So if we make multiple spreadsheets for this unit, we will have multiple tabs down here at the bottom. I'll get into that a little bit later. But you can change the name of these tabs. You can right-click on that tab, or if you're using a touch mouse pad on your laptop, use your 2 fingers to tap that mouse pad, and then you can go up here and choose rename, and we'll just call this, we're just kind of playing around, so we'll hit enter, and that will establish the name of that tab. As we get into working through the different options, I'll identify the cell that you'll type in. And again, you can pause the video and type in this information. So we're going to go up here to cell H7, and I want you to type in your favorite class. And then in cell I14, type in your favorite food. Up here in cell K5, let's type in the month of your birthday. And then down here in cell M12, type in your favorite team mascot. Yours can be different than mine. So now that we have information spread throughout our spreadsheet, we're going to play around with some different feature tools that you have. So let's go back here and choose this cell that has our favorite class in it. And up here in the home button, it will extend the ribbon for that. And you can make a lot of different changes to it. Let's say I want to bold, italic, and underline. You'll notice that it makes those changes to the cell that has been selected. If we go down here to our favorite food, you can change the font style in your home ribbon. The font is located here. If we go to our favorite or our birthday month, then again, in the home ribbon, you can choose to fill that with a color. And basically, that's how you can change the appearance of your text. Let's say I want to make this a larger size. Okay, and so those are the basic formatting tools that you have available to you, and it does come in handy when you're organizing a spreadsheet. Let's say you have categories that are appear in your spreadsheet. You can highlight and change the font to look consistent through all the categories, or whatever it is you like. You can basically customize that. Now, you can also select a group of cells. And I like to look at these cells as separate little word processing programs. So if I make a change to this cell, it's not going to change these other cells unless I highlight those. And you can take your mouse and hold the button down and highlight it this way if we highlight all of those words, or if you want to use your shift key and an arrow key, you can highlight that as well. And then let's say we want to go up here and make those changes. Consistent across the board. And we're going to highlight all of it orange. And we're going to bold. And I'm going to turn the italic off on that and the underline. I don't want to underline everything. One last feature that you have is you can treat each cell. You can outline the cells. So if you click on this little arrow here, there's a lot of different options that you can choose from. Let's say I want all of those cells to have borders around each one. So I'm going to click out of this, and you'll notice that it does outline each cell. And again, with any feature in your spreadsheet or with any tool in your spreadsheet, if you don't like something, you can always reverse it. And the undo button is located right here at the top. So if I hit undo and I take it all the way back to where I didn't highlight those blocks, that's what I want it to look like. You can always use that undo button. And that basically covers everything that you need to know in general as we get started on our spreadsheet activities. All right, we are going to begin our first spreadsheet activity. What I'd like for you to do is go down here to the Windows button and choose Excel. And we're going to start with a blank workbook. So we'll click here. And this particular file, we're going to save it and name it. So go up here to File and choose Save As. And we're going to save it to your PC. Now, I would always recommend creating a file that you keep all of your like files together. So for a specific class, you can create a folder if you haven't already done that one. We will use a computer folder to help you stay organized. If you get a screen initially that looks like this, then you should be able to, in the Documents file, create a new folder and call it appropriately. So we are going to go ahead and save it in our computer file. And up here, we're going to call this SS unit for spreadsheet, and then click on save. Okay, I've already created mine, so I'm going to go ahead and return here. So you should see the title of your file there at the top. Now, the first thing I want you to do is down here at the bottom, we are going to either right click or you can double tap the mouse pad on your laptop and choose rename. And we're just going to call this tab teacher. And this will be the file that you work on your teacher template assignment in. And that, oh, one more thing. As you're working, it's always a good idea to go up here and save often. You do have the auto save option, so either one of those, just make sure you're saving your work. Okay, and that concludes that video on creating your first spreadsheet.